Good morning. I'm Janeline Aguas, a registered nurse with 3 years experience in ER, 5 years non-invasive cardiology nurse, and currently working in medical surgical ward. I'll be your nurse educator for today. I will discuss your roles and responsibilities in health teaching. In our unit, 95% we primarily serves older population. Managing a high percentage of elderly patients can present unique challenges, including age-related comorbidities, polypharmacy, cognitive decline, and mobility issues. This will be our lecture orientation with examples presented through visual aids. Our general objective is to improve the overall health, well-being, and quality of life of elderly individuals by promoting effective health education. And our specific objectives: first, to identify age-related health changes; second, to learn nutritional and eating habits; third, to explain the importance of exercise; fourth, to develop awareness of safety and fall prevention; fifth, to improve medication adherence. Before we proceed to health education, we need to know first how to teach patients effectively. First, assess learning needs. The first step in effective patient education is to assess the individual learning needs of each patient. This involves determining their current knowledge level, literacy, and preferred learning styles. Healthcare providers should take the time to understand what patients already know and identify any gaps in their knowledge. This assessment sets the foundation for tailoring educational interventions that meet the specific needs of each patient. Second, set clear objectives. Once the learning needs are assessed, it is crucial to set clear and achievable educational objectives. These objectives should outline what the patient should know or be able to do by the end of the educational session. Third, choose appropriate teaching methods. Effective patients education requires the use of varied teaching methods that cater to different learning styles. Some patients may benefit from visual aids such as diagrams or videos, while others may prefer discussion-based learning or hands-on demonstrations. It is important to be flexible and adapt teaching needs to suit the individual needs of the patient. For example, when educating a patient about managing diabetes, a combination of visual aids, written materials, and practical demonstrations of insulin administration may be the most effective approach. Fourth, deliver information clearly. Clarity is key when delivering educational content. Healthcare providers should use simple language and avoid medical jargon to ensure that patients understand the information being presented. Breaking down complex concepts into smaller, manageable parts can help prevent overwhelm and enhance comprehension. Additionally, repeating key points and providing written materials can reinforce learning. Fifth, encourage interaction. Encouraging patient interaction is essential for effective education. Healthcare providers should ask open-ended questions to engage patients and promote discussion. This interactive approach allows patients to express their concerns, ask questions, and clarify any misunderstandings by fostering a two-way communication channel. Healthcare provider can better assess the patient's understanding and address any knowledge gaps. Six, evaluate understanding. Evaluating a patient's understanding is a critical step in the educational process. Healthcare providers can use teach-back methods where patient can explain back what they've learned to assess comprehension. This technique not only confirms understanding, but also reinforces learning. If patients struggle to explain concepts, it indicates a need for further clarification and education. And last, provide resources. In addition to verbal communication, healthcare providers should offer patients additional resources for ongoing learning. This may include pamphlets, websites, or community resources that can provide further information and support. Sharing resources empowers patients to continue their education beyond the healthcare setting. Health education for elderly adults. First, we have age-related health changes. As people age, they experience a range of physical and mental changes. Effective health education in this area involves helping seniors understand these changes and how to manage them. First, we have cognitive changes. Memory and cognitive decline, such as mild forgetfulness or more serious conditions like dementia, are common with aging. Education should focus on recognizing early signs of cognitive decline, techniques for maintaining mental sharpness, example, puzzles, learning new skills, staying socially engaged. The importance of regular cognitive health screenings. Second, vision and hearing impairment. Vision and hearing loss can affect daily life and safety. Health education should include encouraging regular eye and hearing exams, strategies for coping with sensory loss, example using hearing aids, using magnifying glasses, and other assistive devices. Third, musculoskeletal health. As bones and joints age, seniors may experience osteoporosis, arthritis, or reduced muscle mass. Education should focus on the importance of weight-bearing exercises for bone health, tips for managing joint pain, such as stretching, physical therapy, or low-impact exercises. The role of calcium and vitamin D in bone health. Fourth, cardiovascular and respiratory health. Aging affects the heart and lungs with conditions like hypertension, heart disease, and COPD becoming more prevalent. Health education should address regular monitoring of blood pressure and cholesterol, recognizing signs of a heart attack, stroke, or respiratory distress. Importance of regular physical activity and a heart-healthy diet like low in sodium, rich in fruits and vegetables. Second, health education for elderly adults is nutritional and eating habits. Good nutrition is vital for maintaining health in later life. Education should focus on helping elderly individuals understand the role of nutrition in preventing or managing chronic diseases, as well as improving overall health and quality of life. First, balanced diet. A diet rich in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, and healthy fats is essential for seniors. Emphasize the importance of fiber, protein, vitamins, and minerals. Hydration is equally important. Many seniors do not feel thirsty and may become dehydrated. Second, managing chronic conditions through diet. Example for diabetes, teaching portion control, carbohydrate counting, and the importance of low glycemic index foods, and for patients who have hypertension, emphasizing the reduction of sodium, processed foods, and the inclusion of potassium-rich foods. And for high cholesterol, encouraging heart-healthy fats like olive oil and avocado and reducing saturated fats. Third, education for elderly is exercise. Exercise helps maintain physical and mental well-being, enhances quality of life, and reduces the risk of chronic diseases. Regular physical activity improves strength, balance, and flexibility, which are essential for maintaining mobility and preventing falls. Exercise also boosts heart health, helps manage conditions like diabetes and hypertension, and supports mental health by reducing stress, anxiety, and symptoms of depression. Additionally, staying active can improve cognitive function, enhance sleep quality, and foster social engagement, and ultimately contributing to a longer, healthier, and more independent life for older. Fourth, health education for elderly is awareness of safety and fall prevention. Falls are a significant health risk for older adults, and preventing them is a critical part of health education. Educating seniors on safety measures at home and in the community can help reduce fall risk and maintain independence. First, in home safety, a fall-safe home environment can drastically reduce the risk of injury. Topics should include removing tripping hazards like rugs, clutter, and cords, installing grab bars in bathrooms and railings on stairs, ensure adequate lighting throughout the home, using non-slip mats in the shower or bathtub. In hospital, we encourage to use the call light when they need assistance and set bed alarms to alert staff when patient attempts to get out of bed without assistance. Second, footwear and mobility aids. Encourage wearing supportive non-slip shoes, use of canes or walkers if needed, and ensuring they have the correct size and used properly. Third, awareness of medications that increase fall risk. Many medications can increase the risk of falls by causing dizziness or confusion. Educating seniors about the side effects of their medication is crucial. And the last for health teaching for elderly is medication adherence. Many elderly individuals take multiple medications, and managing them correctly is crucial for their health. Medication errors or non-adherence can lead to serious complications. So it's important to educate seniors on how to manage their medications effectively. First, understanding medications. Educating seniors about their prescriptions, including purpose of its medication, side effects, proper dosage, and timing. Second, medication management tools. Introduce strategies to help seniors remember to take their medications. They can use pill organizers and medication reminders. And lastly, dealing with polypharmacy. Many seniors take multiple medications for various health conditions. Education should focus on reducing unnecessary medications through regular reviews and understanding drug interactions and how they can affect overall health. My final thought for health education is by empowering elderly individuals with knowledge and support, healthcare providers can help them maintain independence, prevent complications, and achieve optimum health, leading to a better quality of life in their later years. Thank you. Have a great day.